St. Patrick's Day is just days away, and if you're looking for the perfect St. Paddy's drink, I've got you covered. The Grasshopper is smooth, minty, and, most importantly, green. It's easy to make and a great way to get into the spirit of the day. But what's all this got to do with a cyclone? Stick around to find out. Hey everyone! Did you know that St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on the 17th of March and honours the patron saint of Ireland? But the Grasshopper isn't just for St. Patrick's Day. It's a classic cocktail created in the early 1900s. This is a very underrated drink these days. In my 20s, this was one of my favourite cocktails and really deserves more love than it gets. What gives the Grasshopper its distinct green colour is this, Crème de Menthe. Hello, old friend. If you could be a fly on the wall in the cocktail parties, which were all the rage in the 1960s, you would find a Grasshopper in the hands of most guests. Oh, how I wish that cocktail parties would come back into fashion. So what do we need for tonight's drink? We need Crème de Menthe, which is a white chocolate liqueur. We need, of course, Crème de Menthe, which we just talked about. And we need cream, thickened cream, double cream, the same thing. This will be one of the easiest shaken cocktails you'll ever make. It's just 30 mils or 1 ounce of each of these 3 ingredients. Shake it up, pour it out, and it brings a bit of nostalgia to life. So let's get started. As always, ice into the shaker, and my chilled glass is here, ready to go. I just put the glass in the freezer for 5 minutes. If you put it in for 10 minutes, that's okay too. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Okay, so ice in the shaker. Okay, and now 30 mils or 1 ounce of Crème de Cacao. And next we need 30 mils or 1 ounce of green Crème de Menthe. You can also get white, but white does not work in a Grasshopper because you need that spectacular, beautiful, delicious looking green colour. And also, you know, any green drink is good for St. Patrick's Day. But it's best if it is yummy. And 30 mils or 1 ounce of cream. Okay. Lid on the shaker. And let's shake. Okay, that's got really cold, so it is ready to pour. I'm going to use my strainer, but you could just use the top of the shaker. Now look at this green colour. Is that the most gorgeous green you've seen? It's just so beautiful. And that is perfect. Perfect for a green St. Patrick's Day. Let's give it a taste. That is delicious. I really need this drink this week. It's been really what can only be described as a hellish week. I live in southeast Queensland, Australia, and we don't get cyclones here. It can happen, and it happens very rarely. The last one was 50 years ago, and we had a cyclone, Cyclone Alfred, which actually started up in the more tropical region of Queensland, but travelled down and was just off the coast of Brisbane and the Gold Coast in southeast Queensland. Now this was scary because it was a category 2, so it's not, you know, as high as some cyclones can be or hurricanes, and we decided as a family to actually head south. So we went down into New South Wales for a couple of hours drive, actually 3 hours drive, and we took the cat and the dog with us. And we stayed down there for what turned out to be 4 nights because we went on the Wednesday and the cyclone was due to hit Thursday morning. And then we waited and nothing happened. And then the next day, Friday, still nothing happened. And then they were saying that it's coming Friday night, and that became Saturday morning. And in the end, it did hit Saturday morning. Now, off the coast of Brisbane and the Gold Coast are some islands, and North Stradbroke Island, South Stradbroke Island and Moreton Island. And those islands really saved us, to be honest, because the cyclone hit as a Category 2, and those islands where people actually leave, a lot of people evacuated, it actually was Category 2 when it hit those islands, and then it weakened and weakened, and by the time it hit the mainland, it was down to just a tropical storm. Still a heavy storm, but not a cyclone, not even a Category 1, so it was quite lucky that way. What the aftermath was, though, that a lot of people, like 80,000 people, lost power, and a lot of them are still waiting for the power to come on, because this has just happened. And luckily my house didn't. I wasn't here, so I didn't know. And also, before we went, we had to really do a lot of prep, like bring in all the outside furniture and sandbag everywhere where water could come in, including the garage. So we had to get the car out, get the animals in the car and get us all in the car, and then go back inside and make sure the sandbags were against the garage door. And so we had a bit of flooding in the garage, and I found there was a few leaks. There was a leak off the balcony upstairs, and there was also a leak above our staircase, which obviously I've got to go and get fixed, but nothing's coming through. It's just like you can see the watermark, so there's obviously water coming through. There's obviously some water there that's come through from the roof. Anyway, that week's over, and now I have a delicious grasshopper that I can drink with you, and I feel really good about things now. And if you've ever wondered what's the difference between a cyclone and hurricane, well, my understanding is that hurricanes only occur in the northern hemisphere and cyclones occur in the southern hemisphere. And the reason they have a different name is because they turn a different way. So cyclones in the southern hemisphere turn clockwise, and hurricanes in the northern hemisphere turn counterclockwise, which I think is really interesting. I just love things like that about nature. It's just so amazing. St. Patrick is credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland. And although it started as a religious holiday, St. Patrick's Day is now celebrated worldwide. Cities like Chicago, New York and Sydney have parades. The Chicago River is dyed green, and the Sydney Opera House and the Empire State Building are both lit up green on St. Patrick's Day. The reason St. Patrick's Day has become a worldwide celebration is due to Irish immigrants migrating far and wide to different countries and bringing their traditions with them. So wherever you are, you can join in the fun and toast with a grasshopper to the luck of the Irish. See you next week for another cocktail. Bye.